the best of the best take the field one more time. Hey, it's the coach. This is the NFL Pro Bowl on EA Sports. Coming up, the next to last game on the NFL calendar, just moments away. The AFC and NFC stars, they're ready. I'll check you again at halftime. But for the call of the Pro Bowl, let's hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Coming up, it's the penultimate game of the NFL calendar, AFC versus NFC in the NFL Pro Bowl game. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, it's the Pro Bowl. You never really know what to expect, so I guess I'll ask you, what do you expect?
Well, in recent years, it has turned into an absolute offensive explosion, hasn't it? Games in the 50s are not out of line. What you're hoping is that some of these great defenders have a chance to adjust and react and maybe narrow that down a little bit. But I will say, this game is tilted heavily towards the offense's advantage.
Excitement? Well, we got that in abundance as this Pro Bowl is underway from Orlando, Florida. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out comes the NFC for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick in the 2019 draft from Oklahoma. It's Kyler Murray.
And no doubt about it, it was a banner year for quarterbacks in the NFC. A number of guys could very well have been selected for this. But I thought he stood out. I thought he found a way to separate himself from the pack, and he's been rewarded as the starting quarterback in the Pro Bowl. Definitely the right choice in my book.
The first down run with Gurley, good for only about 3. It's second down now. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Play fake. Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Now a draw play for Gurley. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. So here comes the AFC for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
I know he's not showing it on the outside, but inside, he's got to be celebrating, because think about all the quarterbacking we saw in the AFC this year. 5 or 6 guys could have earned this honor. He got the nod, a real feather in his cap.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward, since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
The offense for the NFC back out there. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Gurley. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. It's complete to Lockett. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. They run. It's Gurley. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. From the 40 now on 2nd down, Murray. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The starting defense now for the AFC.
And as expected, there's speed and talent everywhere you look on this Pro Bowl roster. Let's keep an eye on the secondary because they're going to be tested in a big way. It's the Pro Bowl. Not many running plays. The ball will be in the air on almost every snap. Fortunately for them, roster full of cornerbacks who are used to playing on an island.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. I don't think Gurley got there. Looks like the defense held him back. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And the NFC punt team out there now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The AFC offense making their way back out. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And he'll be taken down at the 18. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. Time for a check of the starting offensive unit here for the AFC.
And since it's a Pro Bowl roster, you can have 11 guys from 11 different teams trying to get on the same page. You know that's no easy feat. So line communication calls, that's big. Audibles, hand signals, you want to make sure everyone is connected so no one gets hurt.
Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. A look at the starters defensively now for the NFC.
Aaron Donald's dimensions were talked about big time when he first entered the league. Many called him undersized. Now they just call him all-pro.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the NFC will take over first and 10. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
A gain of 32 that time.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. For big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Joey Bosa able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. It led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Another try after the first down sack. Murray, and a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Here's Murray from midfield.
I think it's okay there they didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open. Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
The offense for the AFC set to go now. And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Looking to throw on second down. Brissett. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Brissett from the gun on third. Ebron caught left side. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The AFC punt team out there now, standing just outside his own goal line. No score after one on EA Sports. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On second down, here's Murray. It's caught. Lockett. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. The numbers for the NFC on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Back out is the AFC offense. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. And now this is Hilton on the receiving end. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. David DeCastro, the former first-round pick out of Stanford, gets the flag. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, here's Brissett. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. It's 3rd and long for Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They could put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
The AFC punt team out there now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. So possession goes over here on the punt, and that will come the offense as they take over. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Gurley. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. The numbers for the NFC on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Murray going to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
And the NFC punt team out there now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st. On 3rd down, Brissett looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Pulled in at the 24. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll be a 2nd and long. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under.
On 2nd and 15 now. Murray, this is complete to Michael Thomas. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Right now, I'm just wondering where they turn on offense, Charles. I know we're not in the 4th quarter, but 2nd quarter haven't scored and struggling to move the ball.
I don't think they abandoned the run game totally, but maybe you change up your tempos. Maybe you go a little bit faster, try and catch them back on their heels a little bit to try and accomplish what you want to get done.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now throwing on first down and completing it. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Brissett now. And going deep for Hill. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off Byron Jones. If you're a lover of offense, this has not been the half for you thus far. Luckily for me, though, I'm sitting next to a lover of defense, and we have had plenty of that, including that interception.
Yeah, and I mean, that still makes it a great game, doesn't it? Everybody talks about if the ball's not in the end zone and points going up on the board, it's not as much fun. I love these defensive battles. Something's got to give with these turnovers. Who can convert them into points?
The offense for the NFC back out there. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
After the turnover, here's Murray. Left side complete to Lockett. Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Murray now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. His first down. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. It's complete. This is Todd Gurley. Now the NFC going to take a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now Murray off play action. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2, and here's Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their second, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. And the NFC punt team out there now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The AFC offense making their way back out, and the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation, either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Now the AFC going to use their final timeout of the half, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. So plenty of action on the field, but no action right now on the scoreboard, at least as of yet. 0-0 is our score. As we'll send you cross town to our studios here in Orlando and check in with the coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. Meanwhile, in our game, to call it a defensive battle would be an understatement. 0-0 is our score. We'll be looking for something in that second half as we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. After a rare scoreless first half, these teams now just looking for something as the second half gets underway. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The AFC offense now set to start this third quarter. And we thought this game had the potential to be tight, maybe not this tight, scoreless as we start the third quarter.
And I love the way you use the word tight. I'm going to take it a little bit different direction here because it's not just tight on the scoreboard. I think both offenses have been tight in how they've played this game. No one's been loose. No one's been free. They've got to find a way to make some plays, and I don't think you do it if you're really tight in everything that you're doing in the game.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will score. It's a touchdown.
I have to believe that in a Pro Bowl situation, you know, we talk about these defensive backs during the season, that they're educated gamblers. They take the education out of it. They just go for the football here. Hey, try and make a big play, and if you get one, you really look terrific in this game.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point. His kick is good, and the NFC goes up 7-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back out is the AFC offense. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Again, it's Mixon. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Short little throw to Ebron, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The AFC punt team out there now as he's on here to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot?
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Joey Bosa, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this 2nd half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the 1st half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Here's Murray, and Thomas has it. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They'll try a handoff right with Gurley. And he's going to be stopped short of a 1st down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And the NFC punt team out there now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Throwing, Brissett, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
The AFC punt team out there now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Taking it about the 36. 51 yards on the punt there. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Throwing now is Murray, and that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Devin Bush, the linebacker, was the one there in pass coverage. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Murray now to throw. And Diggs has it. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And that's going to move the sticks again here as the tackle's made at the AFC's 27-yard line. From the gun, Murray.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
On first down, it's Gurley. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. On 2nd and 7, Murray gets this to his standout receiver, Thomas. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now Murray. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now Greg Joseph for the field goal try. This will be a 34-yard attempt. The kick by Joseph is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip.
Well, no surprise there. Extremely reliable during the regular season. Bailed his team out time and again. Knocks another one through, this time in the Pro Bowl.
Joseph now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The offense for the AFC set to go now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
From the 27, Brissett, and his throw's going to be incomplete. The AFC thus far on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Brissett. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The AFC punt team out there now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The numbers for the NFC on 3rd down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Murray, and they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Murray now. Perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Murray. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on third down.
And ordinarily on third down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
And the NFC punt team out there now as he's on to kick it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the AFC will have it 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The AFC offense making their way back out. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place. But in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the 4th quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play? Which means someone will have a play made against them and not have to live with that for the rest of the year.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, here's Bissett. Ebron with it over the middle. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Joe Mixon. Getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards there and a first down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
To throw, Brissett. Complete to Hilton. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Brissett. Ebron caught left side. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. To throw again on 2nd down. Brissett. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. The AFC thus far on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 4. Brissett now. They complete it to Hill. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. That'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Brissett to the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the AFC with the football as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. And one thing you'd like to see in a Pro Bowl, a competitive contest. We've got that just like the last 2 seasons, a 1-score game as we play here in the 4th.
What I'd love to know, what's the discussion on the sidelines of both teams right now? Because, you know, it's an exhibition-type game, but as you said, as competitive as it is now, these guys are going to want to win. There may be some guys who sub some guys out trying to get back on the field and try to help their team win down the stretch.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Here comes a 20th carry for Gurley. Now the AFC going to use their final timeout of the half as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Now Murray. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles. At the start of the game, passing game was a little bit of a mess, but he's back on the horse, so to speak.
Love seeing how someone can rebound from a slow start or a tough start. Means that they're strong mentally. They've kind of calmed themselves down. Everyone's rallied around them. Maybe they didn't change game planning a little bit in order to make things better for them.
He'll look to throw. And his pass incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. Back to throw. They were looking for a little spark and some break. And got his man complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Kenny Clark in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. He's got it to Hilton. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. So, Charles, a victory for the NFC. Final thoughts on this Pro Bowl?
We had some fun, didn't we?
Absolutely.
A lot of excitement, some big plays to watch, a lot of those great matchups that we don't get to see during the regular season because sometimes teams don't play against each other. And, oh, by the way, no one got hurt. There's the win for everyone. I think the fans enjoyed this one.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been